welcome to Sports Talk with L-Beasley. It is Monday afternoon here for me in Detroit, Michigan. And usually Monday is my catch-up kind of weekend. I catch up with whatever's relevant in college football and NFL and talk about the games and everything. But I'm changing it up a little bit. I actually want to do a little bit of a rant first on my Detroit Lions. And I know what you're thinking. You want to rant about the Detroit Lions. Well, they won. They just beat the Eagles in overtime, yesterday. Why would you want to rant about them? I'm going to tell you why I want to rant about them. And then I'm also want to talk about something that happened in college football recruiting this weekend that kind of bothered me a little bit as far as some fans' reaction. And then also, of course, I'm going to discuss that Monday Night Football game between the Denver Broncos and the San Diego Chargers. But just to get started on the Lions, the Detroit Lions ended up beating the Philadelphia Eagles 26-23. And while, like I said, I'm always happy to get a win. As long as we didn't blatantly cheat, I'm always happy to get a win. A win is a win. And that's kind of what people have been kind of trying to tell me. But I made a couple comments on Twitter, constantly that I felt like either people were giving the Lions. I don't like the fact that Lions fans, and I'm a Lions fan, but I didn't like the fact that people, and not even just Lions fans, but just people, period, seem to be okay with the fact that they play like this. If they lose, it's something bad, but when they win, it's amazing. And that was really the thing that kind of got me with the Lions at the end. There are a lot of people on Twitter, like I said, whether they're Lions fans or just fans of the game. Oh, that was amazing. This is phenomenal. I mean, quite frankly, when they did it last year, the little comeback hit, I thought it was cute because I was like, okay, this is the Lions. They could finally come back and win. That's impressive. But now it's just sick because at this point, it's like, Lions, why is it in the last 15 minutes of a half, or of a quarter, that you can make it down the field, but for the other 3 quarters, you just were non-existent? And it's very frustrating. Even just the appreciation certain people got. Now, obviously, Lions got Louis Delmas back, which was a huge move for our defense. He played great. He had a total of 7 tackles. He had an interception. He did great. It was great to have him back on the field. I constantly said once we get Delmas back on the field, you at least going to have somebody who can go out there and really tackle for the most part. So, very happy with Delmas, and I think his impact was huge. But I didn't even like the fact that Lions were getting a lot of credit for their defensive line. And I didn't feel like they were doing anything extraordinary, mainly because Philadelphia's offensive line is so horrible. I mean, that was my whole thing with, and I kept constantly putting that on Twitter. I want to say that our defensive line is doing something phenomenal, but they're really not. This Philadelphia offensive line has gotten exposed all season. They got exposed last season. That's been one of the key problems with Philadelphia, and one of the other main reasons that Vic is constantly either hurt or not performing well. Now, some of it's Vic. I'm not going to say Vic is just a victim here. Obviously, Vic does have a tendency to hold the ball too long, and that's when our defense did make nice moves by actually getting him down. But it proved my point. Every time the offensive line gave Vic time, he made a play. And that was my point. Don't, they're shut down the run game because the offensive line is collapsing the minute the snap happens. I'm a firm believer. Now, if this was the Patriots that they were going against, the 49ers, somebody who has a good offensive line, I would be like, okay, yeah, y'all doing y'all thing. Y'all just look like y'all ready to go after these cats. But to go against personally, me and my mama personally could have went against that Philadelphia offensive line and actually got as many sacks as the Lions did and pressured Michael Vick the same way. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that they, to me they just took what they gave them, which is what you're supposed to do. I'm not the same thing you say about basketball and anything else. I'm not going to commend you for beating a weaker team or for, taking advantage of the weaker offensive line. That's what you're supposed to do. But when you do play against a real offensive line, we're not going to see that. We haven't seen it all season. Y'all have been horrible at getting pressure on the quarterback, which is one of the reasons that y'all are in the position that y'all are in. So that was one thing that just kept pissing me off. And then, like I said, the other thing about the whole Philadelphia losing, Selleck got called for a bad pass interference call in the end zone. In my opinion, even as a Lions fan, I'm saying that was a bad call. He actually did not push off to the point where it was pass interference. But the refs called it, and that's their business. I'm not going to, refs make their own decisions. I can't fight that. But it was a bad call. And like I said, everybody wants to talk about the Lions. Oh, yeah, they made it in overtime. You don't know in the overtime if they don't call that touchdown. I mean, if they don't take that touchdown away. And some people were like, well, they did. Win is a win. And like I said, once again, I'm going back to, I understand a win is a win. But just the same way the Detroit Lions complained when Calvin Johnson 2 years ago or 3 years ago in Chicago, his touchdown got called back because they said it hit the ground. You cry wolf when it benefits you, but then when it's not your team, it's okay. And like I said, as a Lions fan, I'm not saying that. Like I said, win is a win. You didn't blatantly cheat. You had nothing to do with that. That's a rest call. They didn't call it. That's just something I threw out there, that if they didn't call that touchdown back, that's a win for the Eagles. And like I said, I'm just quite people automatically started tweeting, Detroit Lions play the Bears next. People automatically started tweeting that, oh, we ready for the Bears. This the Lions team I want to see. It is. That game was horrible. Matthew Stafford still played horrible. The only good thing that I saw in that game probably was the running game. Because it seemed like when you did get the ball to LaSure and Bell, they did great. Together they combined for over 100 yards, basically. So, that was impressive. But coming off a bye week, this was sad. Coming off a bye week, I was expecting to see adjustments. I was expecting to see a hunger. They still doing the same stuff, settling for field goals. And quite frankly, the only reason they're able to come out with a win like this is because the Eagles and the Lions are the exact same team when it comes to their mentality. They both come out and play these laxy-daisy games at times, and they both are known for making these little fourth quarter, last-minute comebacks. Philadelphia, that's why they have their record, and that's why the Lions have their record. They're both known for doing this. And I get a little upset with the Eagles just because, I'm upset with any team who doesn't close out the weaker team or close out the team when they have them on the edge. And like I said, for the fourth quarter to be the intensity moment, we didn't score any touchdowns in the entire game until the fourth quarter came. We scored twice in the first quarter, which was through field goals. We didn't score at all in the second and third quarter. Talking about the Detroit Lions here. We did not score at all through the second and third quarter. And in fourth quarter, something comes alive. Me, quite frankly, I can't have respect for any team, whether it's my hometown team or team. I can have respect for any team who decides to come alive quarter when you could have been doing that exact same thing. Like I said, every drive, but again, it's down the field. Having it's Stafford's fault, whether it's Pettigrew, Shepard, Johnson, Burleson, it don't matter. LaSure, it's always somebody's fault, but the whole thing is blowing opportunities. Like I said, I'm not here to just say, like I said, they cheated, they didn't deserve this win. A win is a win. Eagles didn't take care of business like they should. Like I said, at the end of the day, it still goes back to the team. The Eagles, y'all didn't close out. If y'all close out the way y'all want, like I said, obviously we can always go back to the selling touchdown, but I don't want to stay on that. My whole thing was the Eagles, you should have closed out. Eagles didn't close out. Lions took advantage. But if I'm a Lions fan, which I am, this is nothing to be proud of. We ready for the Bears. I can't tell that we ready for Bears. I'm not saying it's not going to be a good battle because it's always normally a good battle between Detroit Lions and the Chicago Bears. And Chicago Bears offensive line is just as iffy as the Philadelphia offensive line. We all know if you can get in Jay Cutler's head, that can definitely turn into a game. But I'm not confident in our secondary that they can check, the Chicago Bears receivers. I'm not confident in our linebackers. Not like that. Y'all played well. Y'all did. But once again, to a weak offensive line, the only reason y'all was able to stop the run game is because the offensive line collapsed every single time. Like I said, a win is a win. I'm never going to say that it's not unless you blatantly cheat. But that just kind of disturbed me. I had to rant about that because some people didn't understand where I was coming from. And my whole thing was, this is where I'm coming from. The fact that fans are still okay with seeing this. Like, so I saw a lot of fans, oh, yeah, we ready for the Bears. No, you're not. I'm not saying you might actually even come out and beat the Bears, but the fact is this team is still doing this comeback win, and fans seem to be okay with it, but only when we win. Now, if we lose, you be talking about like I'm talking about it, but because we won in overtime, it's okay. Now we're ready. We're getting better. No, we're not. I said come off a bye week to get healthy and to see the same crap I've been seeing was sick. Like I said, offensively, this is just getting sad. You're not balanced. When you should run the ball more, you're passing it. When you should pass the ball more, you're running it. You got to find that balance. So that was really my whole rant about the Detroit Lions. Like I said, at the end of the day, I'm proud they got to win. No question. They're 2-3. I'm happy about that. They're going to play Chicago next. Definitely have it as their 2-3. A win is a win. I'm never going to say different unless you cheat. But I had to give my point of view on that because that upset me. So, Detroit Lion fans, you may not see where I'm coming from. You may. I really don't care either way. But at the end of the day, I had to let that out. Period. Moving on to the other things that's going on. As I said earlier, there was something that went big in recruiting this weekend. David Dawson, who is ranked as the nation's #1 offensive guard by ESPN. He is of Detroit Cass Tech High School. He decommitted from Michigan on Sunday. And he plans to take a couple official visits to both Florida and South Carolina. He plans to take an official visit to Florida for the South Carolina game. And really, really the thing that kind of stuck out to me was he changed it, word spread around that he decommitted from Michigan. But the thing that probably bothered me the most was the comments that I saw from Michigan fans or just fans of the game, period. Who were basically wishing this guy horrible things. I hope you break your leg. Oh man, we never wanted you anyway. Oh, you think you weren't gonna be good with us. And I mean, these are Michigan fans. These are just fans, period. And I understand that, people take their recruiting seriously. I take my recruiting seriously. I'm a Michigan fan. And nobody takes the recruiting commitment more, personal than I do. Because I personally hate to see these kids commit to schools, go to schools that I personally always thought never were a good fit for them anyway, and then they end up transferring. I've never been a fan of that, and I've always spoken on that in articles and interviews and whatnot. I don't like it either. But to criticize the way that they did David Dawson, and he's not the first one to get, talked to like this if they don't make a decision, whether it's a decommitment, whether it's, picking a school over the hometown school. I mean, I've seen this before when Columbus kids, pick a Michigan or a Michigan State, and I've seen it when, local kids in Michigan pick Ohio State or they pick to go to USC. Some people just don't agree, but at the end of the day, no fan, no person has the right to talk to him the way that they did. Now, for those who don't know, the main reason that they're saying that, he decommitted from Michigan was mainly because he wanted to take other visits. And, obviously this is what the reporters are saying, articles are saying this is the reason he decommitted. He wanted to take other visits, and Michigan, commitments, once you're committed to Michigan, they do not allow you to take any more visits to other schools, which is understandable. Try to check your interest. That's what you want to do. That's what you want to do. And he felt like, he wanted to take another chance. He has a good friend, Cameron Dillard, who's a Canton, Michigan, who's going to Florida. So it's understandable why he wants to take visits. But like I said, even if it wasn't understandable, the point is these are young kids. These are boys and girls making lifetime decisions at 15, 16, 17, 18 years old. I don't appreciate us treating even 30-year-olds or 40-year-olds like this, let alone some kids. I just didn't feel it was appropriate. Like I said, some of the stuff that I saw, like I said, I hope you break your leg. We never wanted you anyway. I mean, some words I can't say, but I'm not gonna say. I mean, just some vulgar things that I saw. It just was unacceptable to see from just fans of Michigan fans, period. Like I said, I understand that it's a big deal when a kid decommits, especially when he's, because this kid has been, committed for a long time, and obviously you might have passed up on some guys. I understand it, because like I said, I take it personal. But at the end of the day, I also want him to make his decision. Because I want him, I'm thinking, that's cool, but you have no right to talk to anybody in that way and to wish that person any harm, and to just see that was sad. And that's some of the bad things about social media today, is that it really opens up that door where people can do this now. They can get on your page and whatnot and just go crazy, on you about what's going on. And I just personally don't like that. So I just wanted to kind of speak out on that. David Dawson, good luck. Have a good visit when you go to Florida. Definitely looking forward to seeing what you decide, if you'll commit back to Michigan, if you'll shoot somewhere else. At the end of the day, do what's best for you. That's my little message. Do what's best for you personally, academically, and athletically, and hopefully you'll be happy with your decision. Hopefully fans can take something from this, college fans, whatever fans. Take something from that. Please don't. I hate to see that when a kid commits somewhere or decommits from somewhere that a fan does not agree with, they just lash out and go crazy. Show some class, show some love, show some respect for you, yourself, your school, and that person, and do not say that. I didn't like to see that. And moving on just to the Monday Night Football game that's going on tonight between the Denver Broncos and the San Diego Chargers. Of course, I'm looking forward to this battle. Just for the main fact, it's two of the great quarterbacks in the NFL, probably of all time, and Peyton Manning and obviously Phillip Rivers. I'm definitely looking forward to this game. For the Broncos, the thing to kind of watch with them is they seem to get better every week. They're constantly improving their chemistry, and the same goes for Denver defense, so I'm definitely looking forward to that. But the thing about Denver is they don't seem to have a deep element in the passing game. So all of Manning's routes are short, intermediate, with a lot of bubble screens and whatnot designed to get yards after catch. So, and it's pretty much the same thing goes with the running game as well. So it would be nice to just see them kind of set up those play action packages, because it seems to help them out with the run game. When the run game is going well, it helps out, do some play action packages. And then defensively, the Broncos will show a lot of pre-snap movements to confuse the quarterback. So I'm looking for Chargers quarterback Phillip Rivers to have a very solid game, but in his pre-snap reads, I'm really watching him, because those are the things that I'm looking to see. And obviously he's a veteran. I don't think he's going to really have a problem, but you never know. Like I said, Denver has been throwing a lot of, pre-snap movements in there, trying to confuse defenses, and it'll just be interesting to see how Phillip Rivers is going to handle it, and I'm pretty sure the Chargers are going to try to confuse Manning with some pre-snap movements as well, and change your coverage looks out there, so I'm pretty sure it's going to be just real interesting to see how both quarterbacks kind of adjust that, because like I said, both teams, as far as defensively, are basically known for doing those pre-snap movements and kind of causing confusion. And then just see what team is going to do. Like I said, obviously passing-wise, both teams are pretty equal to each other. But I really want to just see how they're both going to do rushing-wise. They're both pretty even rushing-wise, but obviously with the Denver Broncos, you have McGahee, and then for San Diego, you got Matthews. So I'm just really just seeing how both guys are going to do. Both guys have their moments when they struggle, and they don't, obviously these are both pass-oriented offenses, but just really want to see for Ryan Matthews if he's going to step up, who rushed for 80 yards and a touchdown last week while adding a 59-yard receiving last week. So I really just want to see if he can bring that same performance. Willis McGahee, he had similar efforts in his last two meetings. He rushed for 125 yards in the loss in their most recent matchup. So I just really want to see how both defenses are going to play and how both quarterbacks are going to play. But at the end of the day, it's a battle of defenses, it's a battle of quarterback. The game's changed, and I just want to see which quarterback can outsmart and outbeat the other, and quite frankly, possibly outclutch each other. So at the end of the day, that's my segment for Sports Talk with L-Beasley. I hope you enjoyed the segment. Be sure to let me know what you thought of the show. If you agree, if you disagree, always happy to hear those comments. If you want to be a guest on my show, remember, guys, Sports Talk with L-Beasley has gone Skype. All you have to do is contact me. All my contact information is at the end on the credits. If I have a topic that I did not discuss that you want me to discuss, whether it be NFL, whether it be college, whether it be, college basketball is right around the corner, we'll be talking about that soon. NBA season is right around the corner, so I'm talking about that soon. So if there's anything you just want me to discuss that I have not discussed, player, team, sport, let me know. Always happy to do that. Once again, my contact information is on the credits at the end. Go check out MoneyballSportswear.com. They're a huge supporter of Sports Talk with L. Beasley and just me, Lauren Beasley, period. So go check them out. You're going to love their clothes. If you love Nike, you'll love Under Armour. Go check out. You'll love Moneyball. So go check out MoneyballSportswear.com. The only way to ball is Moneyball. Once again, thank you for tuning in. Appreciate all the support, and I will see you guys tomorrow.